Today we're going to change the fuel filter, which is this apparatus located right here. Usually the owner's manual recommends anywhere from 30, 50,000, somewhere in that ballpark. So before we can remove the fittings though, we have to relieve the fuel pressure. So let's go ahead and do that. One of the ways of relieving the fuel pressure is by opening up the fuel cap. So on the side of the car there's a device to do that. And then we just go to the cap here, spin it off, then you'll hear the pressure release, and then just put it back on and call it good. Alright, now that we've released pressure in the fuel line, we'll go ahead and gently crack this open just to make sure all the fuel gets out that's in there. So it looks like we're good there. Let's go ahead and put that back on then. Alright, now, so we need a 17 millimeter wrench to get this top one off. Now I kind of want to brace it a little bit. Brace the fuel filter. So let's go ahead and try to hold that. Alright, so that's loose. Now there's a chance fuel could still spray, so we always want to be cautious. You never want to get overconfident with this stuff. Alright. So we got a little washer here. Set that aside. Now, so we lift up on this and make sure, check the bottom. There's another washer here. So you got a washer on the top and the bottom. So we'll just set them aside. And then just check this top part, make sure there's no missing fittings on there. So it looks pretty good. Now we got to take the bottom one off here. It should be a little bit more of a challenge. So what we want to do is a pipe wrench. And then we'll just use an adjustable wrench here. Right about there is where we need it. And let's try to get this on there. It feels like it's about good. Alright, and just tighten that down. And there we have it. Okay. Alright. Now you can see some fuel dripping out. Well, maybe you can't from the camera, but once we get the fitting on the bottom loose, then we want to use the 14-inch wrench because it'll make it a lot faster. The pipe wrench is very helpful because it lessens the chance of the nut getting stripped, which is very important. Alright, so we got one more bolt to remove here. It fastens the fastens the fuel filter on. We might not even have to remove it. It might just be able to loosen it and... No, it looks like maybe we'll have to remove it. Alright, here's the bolt here. Alright, so here's the old fuel filter. One of the handy things about this tool is that it's able to pick up items that fall down. So now we just got to go get the new one and place it on. Alright, here's our new fuel filter. And we got the 2 washers in here. Now when they sell these fuel filters, they'll usually sell them with 4 washers. Now the reason why they do that is because one fuel filter can fit multiple different vehicles. So just keep that in mind. It's not a mistake if you have an extra washer. But it's not always a mistake. It can be. But in this case, it's not. So we're in pretty good shape here. So we just need to tighten this bottom one on. Get it started by hand. And then we'll put our strap back in. Alright, so let's just tighten up this bottom one here. For tightening it, we can probably get away with just the 14. Alright, that should be good. And then we can put this one back on, and just remember to put the proper washers on. So the one on the bottom was a little bit wider than the one on the top. So we'll go ahead and, so there's the top one, and slide it through, and the bottom one. So now we should be good. Now what we want to do is turn the engine on so the fuel pump turns on to check for any leaks. As you can see, it's leaking a little from the top because I forgot to fasten that, so we'll just go ahead and fasten that. Okay, let's tighten this down then. That should do it. So I'll go back and pulse the engine again and see if it continues to leak. Alright, that looks pretty good. It looks like we're void of leaks. So now that we got the fuel filter installed, let's go ahead and start up the engine and see if the fuel pressure is where we need it. The engine sounds pretty good. No misfires. That's what we need.